We turn to the Corellustrator as our guy Bobby Curl has cooked up some trades to help the Mavericks get some guard help this summer to go along with Anthony Davis and also potentially, of course, Cooper Flagg, Bobby Curl, as this team, devoid of playmaking, needs to find some to help this team move forward here.
Yeah, well, Kevin, thank you for that intro. Trade machine stuff is always a bunch of bollocks. You know, I was just having a little bit of fun in the machine. So let me know if you like these ideas or if you hate them or if
I
it's
hate them.
Okay, well, wait till see them first.
You literally said I'm included.
Then let me know.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know if you're part of it yet.
You said I was. You
Stop
implied.
spoiling it.
You sneak in these British isms that I wasn't expecting.
Oh, well, it's 48 hours to
Oi!
kick off in the FA Cup final, Mark. Tanner, let's get to the first one. So these range on a scale of going for it to let's get a little younger. And I don't know where in the world of reality we're living right now, but let's say you really want Kobe White. That's a big name circling among Mavs fans. But you want to get Kobe White without giving up a pick. Is it possible? Well, you call up Chicago, say, all right, Gafford and PJ, those are clear upgrades over players that are currently on your team. PJ is a much better player than a guy like Patrick Williams, who's locked in at kind of an unsavory $18 million a year, coming off a pretty disappointing season in the final year of his rookie deal. You give the Bulls Gafford, PJ, and Jaden Hardy in exchange for Kobe White and Pat Williams, and you hope that Kobe can continue his kind of meteoric rise over the last couple years. Gentlemen, are you giving that an A or an F?
Does Daniel Gafford want to go back to Chicago?
It's not really his choice.
It's not really his choice. Kobe White's been a popular name of choice for Mavericks fans and had a really good year for Chicago. And I think he would provide some very much needed help immediately. I like this one, actually.
And the Bulls got tons of trade interest in Kobe White at the deadline and swatted it all away. And Kobe White had a tremendous season. He's had 2 strong seasons in a row. The notion that they could get him without including draft compensation, I think, is unlikely. I mean,
1.8%, Mark.
the only thing you can do, though, is say that, the Thunder were able to get Caruso for Giddey straight up with no trade compensation included. So I guess that gives you a modicum of hope. And I guess, like you said, if you can win the draft lottery with a 1.8% chance, who am I to dash your dreams of Kobe White?
I think any team Dallas makes is going to be based around Gafford or Washington. That just seems like the obvious thing. I don't know if Kobe White's good enough to me to include both.
Hate.
They're not feeling that.
Wow. All right. Well,
I like the Kobe White part of it. The Kobe White part of it, I'm here for.
Oh, I'll take. Okay, one saving grace.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Mavs call up the Portlandia Trailblazers. They say, how about Anthony Simons? He's kind of a little further along, a little more proven than Kobe White. The Mavs give Gafford, PJ Washington, and LA's first-round pick in 2029 for Anthony Simons and a ton of second-round picks.
I think Anthony Simons is better than Kobe White.
I agree.
But that salary is kind of nasty.
Is it? Well, it's 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah, at $27.5 million. And I'm sure.
No, it's 27.6, but then it's an expiring deal, so you're probably having to give him potentially a raise.
I'm about to say you probably need to give him a contract extension if you're going to bring him to Dallas.
Is that bad?
Depending on how much you feel like you want to pay Anthony Simons.
How much? What do you want to pay? He's 25. He's younger than Gafford and PJ.
He's younger than Gafford and PJ.
F. Damn. Damn.
I mean, he would at that point.
C. I'll take it. C. I'll take it.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's over a $30 million player. Do you want to add that kind of?
I mean, look, you can.
Well, you have to pay someone eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I'm just saying. Yeah.
You can theoretically bring in very offensive-minded players if you have AD and Flagg on the court to compensate.
And you need, again, if you're trying to do anything next season, you need scoring.
It's a
badly.
It's a pricey trade construction there, and I do think we need to keep our eye on Orlando. Jake Fisher and I reported that recently that Simons and I think Orlando's going to be in the bidding there.
PJ Washington's better than Jonathan Isaac. Daniel Gafford's better than Wendell Carter. It's probably not better than Wendell Carter.
And you're tacking a first onto that?
I'm getting a bunch of 2s back. The Mavs don't have any of those.
Yeah.
Well chronicled.
Elliot says not sure the Blazers want another big guy.
That's true as well.
Well, they definitely don't want Ayton.
And they got Donovan Clingan there already too. So
and Ayton's on an expiring.
And Robert Williams.
Potentially
and
trade
Robert
him
Williams
around.
is there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but Robert Williams they're just praying he stays healthy long enough to move him as well. I think I don't know. I don't know exactly where
I do like this live fan reaction to your ideas.
I don't mind it, whatever. I mean, I'm also literally just finding stuff that works.
I'm gonna tell fans right now. You guys are always the every single fan base, every single one, all 30 of them are always going to overrate their own players, underrate a little bit.
Yeah, let's make this trade with no picks involved.
Doesn't mean that these are amazing trades. I don't think either. I think both of them are far more realistic than F's in terms of what Dallas is actually going to have to do to get a player like Kobe White. Everybody keeps talking about Kobe White. I would rather see like a PJ or a Daniel trade that involves all those picks. That's the type of trade I think I would be. Maybe not all those, but yeah, I would rather see something more like that.
Just for a guy that's relatively unproven, I'm not really trying to give up a one. Whereas Simons has been pretty good for a while.
I'm trying to see if Kurilla did the one thing with that one team on the West Coast.
Tanner, trade 3, every Mavs fan's nightmare scenario.
He did it. Oh, he actually did that one.
Daniel Gafford and LA's pick back to the Lakers, along with swap rights. I feel like you kind of might have to give up quite a bit to get Austin Reeves. I'm not even sure that would be enough, but Austin Reeves, bona fide scorer, pretty dang good player. Was born in the pressure cooker of LA and thrived this year as a third option. Could he be a nice second option or even third option playing between Kyrie and Cooper Flagg?
Lakers say no. It's not even that hard for them.
Do they say no? Because they got to make a decision on whether they're going to pay that cat over $43 million if he turns down an extension this year. Because if he turns down an extension and goes into free agency, he's going to be up for a ton of money. And I don't know if the Lakers would be willing to give him the kind of potential raise that he may be looking for on the open market. So I think they would consider it a little bit more than
let's go. I did it.
What they may consider there, just in my opinion.
By offering a bad trade, I got an A. I got 2 A's.
You're not trading Austin Reeves for a center who doesn't play in the postseason, who struggles in the post. Like that.
You see who they had at center this postseason?
Yeah, centers who didn't play. You want to add another? Does that make it better? That you have another big body on the bench that you're like, oh my God, we are losing.
I just don't know.
They got
to trade him for something.
I love Gafford.
They got to trade Reeves for something. I mean,
the reality of what happened in the postseason is, you could go look it up. Every single series, Dallas was losing points.
Well, it's because Derek Lively's goated, Tim. That's pretty easy.
I mean, that's a big part of it.
All right, next trade. These last two are if the Mavs want to get a little younger. Okay, they don't want to. Okay. This is probably unrealistic because the Mavs are trying to go for it. But this is if they want to get younger. They call up San Antonio, with whom they've never made a trade outside of like a fake second-round pick trade like 27 years ago. They offer San Antonio Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington, along with another pick swap for the Spurs in 2031. Lakers' first-round pick for Harrison Barnes' contract, bringing the GOAT back to Dallas, and Stephon Castle.
I like what you're doing there.
It gives them a ton of picks to throw for Giannis, basically, is what this is doing.
Yeah, I think San Antonio says no because Stephon Castle is that good.
Well, they have the number 2 pick in the draft.
And
so
if they're trading Stephon Castle,
it probably
would be for Giannis.
Yeah,
but what if you get 2 picks for that, and then you give even more picks for Giannis? Or would they want
Milwaukee
Castle?
needs players, not because they don't have their own picks. So if Milwaukee, and again, this is all still hypothetical because Giannis has not yet gone to the Bucks and say, I want to trade or I want to stay. He has not really given them any indication one way or the other. But the Bucks are not going to do a trade. If they are forced to trade Giannis, I do not anticipate them doing a trade that is just laden with picks. They're going to need some quality players too, because the Spurs are going to be a juggernaut after that trade. So it's like their picks are just...
They need a lot back.
Yeah.
You're right. PJ isn't a huge upgrade over Barnes. Gafford is a huge upgrade, in my opinion, over Zach Collins. If Wemby's not going to play the 5 in the regular season, they need guys. Now, getting Castle back obviously is a little silly, but potentially Dylan Harper, that's a little bit of an overlap. They already have De'Aaron Fox. Leverage might not, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Most ones not feeling that one, Bobby. They're not feeling that one.
That's fine.
Yeah. There was one that was like...
Last one. Mavs get much worse this year for potentially a payoff in the future. They call up the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh.
Another in-division rival. Gafford, PJ, Jaden Hardy to the Pelicans for CJ McCollum, who at $30 million in his age and his size and his defensive, that's a tough situation for the Pelicans. You get Jordan Hawkins, and you get the number 7 pick in the draft this year.
Oh, so you're giving me a 1
8.
You gave me the 1 and the 7.
Is it?
That's I mean, maybe they are number 8, and that just hasn't.
Wait.
Yeah.
Time out. Then,
I mean, we.
oh
can
no,
look up-
Pelicans. You're right.
Jordan
Sorry,
Hawkins didn't
you're
really
right.
play
You're
much.
right,
Didn't
you're
have that great of a year. The Pelicans have a lot of guys. They're a team that has a lot of dudes. They got a lot of players.
Hawkins couldn't hardly get on the floor for the Pelicans as it was.
I know. So, but it's contract matching at
That's
that point.
true,
You're not
yeah.
trading for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm feeling that one. The only thing that entices me is the fact that you get the
You get a pick.
you get the pick. The
You get
numbers.
super young,
Yeah, you get
and you
super
could you have
young.
your pick next year, and the Mavs have their pick next year. So you're probably taking a little bit of a step back this year. Get
I
another
think-
pick next year. Boom. Now you're cooking.
I think there's a really real scenario that Dallas is going to struggle until Kyrie gets back next season, and that the season after next, the 2026-27
F
season,
minus. That's not even
is
legal.
really going to be the chance to, like, that is when they should all be there. Like, everything should be aligned for Dallas to go win. Cooper Flagg, I mean, he's 18. He's going to take a year. In a year from now, he's going to be so much. He's going to have so much more understanding of what he can do at the NBA level. So if you spin it like that, and your hopes for next year just because of Kyrie's and Cooper being a rookie are just lowered, maybe. I don't. Who would you want to take at 7?
And number 7 is potentially Derek Queen. It's potentially Jeremiah Fears. It's potentially someone else. The idea is I'm staring down a future where I got to offer Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington an extension to either play out of position or come off the bench.
Right.
Those guys aren't agreeing to that.
Mhm.
McCollum's $30 million comes off the books. After next season, Clay will be on an expiring. You can potentially get under the cap and sign guys, or you could at least have a lot of flexibility once Kyrie's extension kicks in full force, AD's extension is in full force, and you're going to be 1 year away from having to extend Lively. So it's a little bit of like, I don't think it's realistic that they're going to keep AD and also try and obtain more picks, but that is one way to do a 2-timeline
Getting the
situation.
vibe from our viewership that PJ Washington is beloved around here.
I fully agree.
I
but
fully support that.
I also
take.
don't think he wants to be a 6 man, and I think he's going to be.
Which is my
Unless they trade AD, but that's not happening unless they fire Nico.
Which is why I might advocate for an entire reset, but that's another conversation for another day.